we know that our salvation is secure. But the Christian life, Jude talks about this, that God would keep us from stumbling, but the Christian life is not a lazy, hazy, apathetic one. We take our faith very seriously. We take measures to protect it. You don't put a 3-year-old outside unattended and just assume he or she will be okay. You guard them and you help them grow so they can someday guard themselves. We should be doing that in the church all the time, helping one another grow. If someone is wading into false teaching, don't just stand by and see how it pans out. You take action. If you look in the back of Roger's car and he has some tracts from Jehovah's Witness that he clearly is planning on passing out, you grab Roger and say, hey, let's take these out back and burn them or something, whatever. But you take action. Maybe they don't receive that correction, but you have discharged your responsibility and you guard yourself along the way, and God will guard you also. And isn't it wonderful that Peter closes with a doxology to Christ? This is how he began the letter, talking about Jesus. And he closes the letter with a word about Christ. That should remind us, church, that Jesus is to be the main subject of our lives. He is the primary topic of each day. Now we fail at that, no doubt, but we can make it a spiritual goal to be more about Him and His business and His agenda and His glory as we grow. Now I titled this sermon, Found by Him. We want to be found by Him when He returns. And keep in mind, the false teachers had no view of the future and no hope of Christ's return, no belief in anything beyond this present age. But we, as Orthodox believers, have confidence that Jesus is someday coming for us and ushering in that new heavens and new earth and presenting us to the Father complete. But while we wait to be found by Him, let's remember that we already have. He sought us. He bought us. He tracked us down. He saved us. And we owe all of our salvation to Jesus Christ. Now we sing that hymn, All to Jesus I Surrender, all to Him something in there about, I owe my salvation to Jesus. There's hymns that we sing. But we don't mean that we're literally paying back Jesus. We mean, God does not demand payment. Sometimes we hear us say, you owe it all to God. We don't mean God is requiring you to pay it back. We just mean that the glory belongs to Him. Technically we owe the Father for the decree that went out to save us. And we owe the Holy Spirit for regenerating our sinful hearts. But it was Christ who suffered and died to make all of that a reality. We're already found by Him. Unless you don't have faith in Him, in which case you're lost. But today you can be found. Put your trust in Jesus. But while we wait for Christ's appearing, because we are a people of the future, let's be a faithful people of the present, living the kind of holy lives God calls us to. The artist Prince died this week, and growing up, I used to think it was puzzling that he could sing about spiritual things on the one hand and sing about sensual things on the other hand. And then I realized, when I read an article this past week, this is who he was. He did this, and it was very unique. But that's what the false teachers are doing as well, trying to combine spiritual things with sensual things. Church, we must give our allegiance exclusively to Christ and not the flesh. Now, some months ago, I did a series entitled A Better Church, and then I segued into this more recent series on the walk and war for truth, and we're concluding that series now. But let us not lose our focus to the point where we forget the things we've learned, how to be a better church.